What's up, dudes? Welcome back to another podcast with Xiamaroux and friends. Everybody go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Julian of the Julian Honecker Fan Club fame.
Who dropped
Like,
a
comment, share on Facebook.com.
who dropped a video recently, which was hilarious.
The stun guns suck. We demonstrate my newest product, the stun guns suck, and we tase the Lord of Hats. He actually gets tased.
I actually bought one.
He did.
Oh yeah. In fact, I got it right now. In fact, oh yeah, I'm Yang3213 by the way. Yeah, let me pick that up real fast. Hang on.
While he's doing that, it's your boy Fox back in the building. Wait,
All right, cool.
there is no building.
Except for my disembodied voice in your ear.
All right, I got it. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool actually. The sock stun gun thing.
Yeah, the stun gun suck.
He just stunned himself.
God
I
have
got mine
mercy.
too.
Oh,
You just stun yourself.
It looks like
Did you just stun yourself, actually?
yes. God, it
Why?
was an
You're
accident.
supposed to use them on people who are attacking your gamer stash and King Gizzard and the
wasn't an
Lizard Wizard
accident.
CDs.
It was an accident.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ.
Shamaru, what are we here to talk about this week, dude?
Spider-Man, but actually, Donovan tasing him, or Yang tasing himself is actually in line with one of Spider-Man's villains, Shocker, and another one, Electro.
Ow, it hurt.
Oh, yeah,
was
the podcast is Spider-Man. It's cool.
yeah. So before we start, that little stun gun thing, it looks like a burrito. But it was in
My
like,
stun gun is attached to my flashlight.
it was in Julian's latest little video that he made on his little fan page. It's pretty funny.
My little fan page.
Dang, why you gotta
Not
why you
much
gotta
littler
blaze him
than
out
your
like that?
YouTube channel.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is small. What are you talking about? If your shit is bigger than mine.
My channel is small. You want to talk about small?
All right, but anyways, we're here to talk about Spider-Man today.
My
Spider-Man.
favorite superhero as a child.
Yeah,
Besides
Spider-Man
Goku and Smash When.
into the
Ever.
Spider-Verse. That
Into the
movie,
Spider-Verse, the PS4 game, and the new trailer.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say a new trailer dropped today, and Tom Holland said there's a trailer tomorrow too, as of this
Another
recording.
trailer.
so you
Oh.
guys have to. Wait, am I echoing?
I don't really hear any echo.
I don't really hear it.
No.
Okay, I got a good ass microphone. What the fuck? All right. So, anyways, you guys are gonna have to tell me about that trailer because I didn't get to watch it yet.
It's got Mysterio. He's got the fishbowl head.
Oh, dude, nice.
Wait,
Yeah.
how did y'all feel about it? Because it was
it.
lackluster for me, to be perfectly honest.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see it.
Like them.
I
Like to quote the trailer, he looks like what was it? Thor and yeah.
I want to say Loki for some reason. I don't know why, but
it was
I
like
mean,
Thor and
I watched the trailer like 3 times
oh,
today.
and Tony, yeah, and Iron Man wrapped up in one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like I watched the trailer 3 times today, and all those times I was just like, I don't think I really care about Spider-Man in England. No offense to anyone that stays out that way. It's just I don't really care.
Yeah, that was kind of weird that like they're in Europe all of a sudden, but I mean,
They are.
yeah,
Yeah, well, the Europe thing is just explained as a school trip.
Yeah.
It's not like he's going on a mission to Europe. It's just he wants to go hang out with his buddies. And then Nick Fury's all, we gotta fucking talk. And
That's the thing.
and then the new villains are all around.
Yeah.
Mysterio.
My main interest about the movie is just the fact is like, when is this set? Like before Infinity War or after? Whatever.
Yeah, they don't make any reference to Infinity War or Endgame, which is pretty good. So it could be set before or after.
I heard. Well, what I heard is that every Marvel movie that's going to be coming out is going to take place after Infinity War. Besides, the
Besides
Ant-Man and the
Endgame
Wasp.
itself.
Well, besides Ant-Man and the Wasp that came out not long ago.
And
that
Captain
that
Marvel.
was before.
That was a good one.
Captain
that-
Marvel's movie is set in the 90s.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and Captain Marvel, I forgot. Yeah, that's
Right.
all going to be beforehand.
Yeah, but that-
Those are the only two movies that's before Infinity War. Anything else is after, I believe so.
Do you think there'll be an X-Men or a Fantastic Four reference in Endgame?
Fantastic Four, I can see because didn't Disney like just get the properties back, or are they still doing that?
I think they have them.
But
Yeah,
I don't know about X-Men.
I want to say no.
I don't think any X-Men thing is gonna pop up, because I think they're gonna start popping up in a new phase. Like they're not gonna be talked about at all right now.
Oh yeah. But speaking of, Logan is still one of my favorite superhero movies. That ending was, ouch, really good.
So, pretty much what is the name of this movie, y'all?
Spider-Man-
Far From Home.
Yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Ah, okay.
When I first heard Far From Home, I was thinking it was like just on if like after the chance everyone gets revived, it'd be Spider-Man stuck in like an alien system, trying to get home and dealing with aliens and shit. So I was kind of hoping it'd be that, but I'm cool with Mysterio and England.
I like Mysterio, and they haven't even
Mysterio's
done
cool.
the adaptation or anything.
But in the trailer, they almost play him up as like not a good guy, but someone like Black Cat who does what they want when it benefits
Kinda
them
like
the
a-
most.
Well, that's
A neutral character.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of part of Mysterio. Like in the past, he's acted as a good guy, but it's revealed before. He's all making up the villains and his powers to seem like a hero, so he gets the money.
Ah, okay.
Because like Job of Arrested Development, he's an illusionist.
Okay, because I didn't know that much about Mysterio, so that's why I was kind of confused about it. Because most time
He's
when I
also got a
saw him, he was pretty much
fishbowl.
like an antagonist.
Yeah, same here.
My personal theory is that the Elementals, the villains that were shown in the trailer, they're all phonies, and that Mysterio hired them to be phonies, and Mysterio's gonna end up being the main villain.
I
That's
kind
my
of got that
personal-
too.
Thing though, yeah, theory.
Because I did know that he was an illusionist, and I was like, that's probably all illusions that he set up, and then set himself up to be like, hey, I helped out. Give me some money.
I did it. I done good.
It's all about the money. All about the Benjamins, baby.
And speaking of business, Into the Spider-Verse made a lot of business with money
Oh, yes, it
because it was
did.
a good film.
And it
Oh,
won a Golden Globe for top animated film.
Well, that's
Oh.
it's one of the most gorgeous movies I've seen. Like, my God, the art style,
But
yes, dude.
beautiful.
if you haven't seen it, you need to. It's a visual treat all on its own.
Legitimately the best
Yeah.
Spider-Man movie we've had.
Well, it has multiple art styles. It has great art styles.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Spider-Man Noir is still my
Gotta be
favorite character.
technical,
He
huh?
just stole the show every scene.
Oh
Sorry.
my god, yes.
Sorry if my voice is a bit raspy, by the way. I just woke up. So,
His
Sometimes
new
I'll have
job
to
has
match
been
pronounce
kicking
my
his
fingertips
ass.
just to feel something, anything.
yeah. Sounds great.
You know who I was
So,
shocked that
That's
I
your
liked in the
hard-boiled
whole
turtle
movie?
slapper.
Yeah, terrible. Apparently, in the making of it, like they had thought of just hundreds of funny old-time sounding insults they could have used for Spider-Man Noir, but they had to axe half of them because apparently half of them were just meant really sexual things.
No,
Holy crap.
the dude that plays Spider-Ham, he was doing an interview. I think it was on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and he was like, when they called him about the job, they didn't tell him about it. Like they didn't give him any details. They didn't say what it was for, and he said, I didn't know what to do, so he just started wildly cursing for like most of his lines. And they played, and you can look it up. It's on YouTube now. But I forget the actor. He's a comedian. I listened to him.
John Mulaney.
Yeah, he's hilarious. and you can listen to it on YouTube, like I said. It's just him cursing because he didn't know what to do, and they were like, and then he stopped. He was like, "Is any of this usable?" And they were like, "No, but we just wanted you to have fun with it, though."
No.
I didn't expect that I would like Spider-Ham because I remember seeing him in the trailers, and I was like, I'm probably gonna not like him very much at all. I was
Spider-Ham
completely
was
wrong.
great.
Mhm.
Well, everybody's likable.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So pretty much, this movie's star is Miles
Miles
Morales.
Morales.
He is the Spider-Man from the Ultimate Comics. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he became Spider-Man after Ultimate Peter Parker died.
Yeah,
But then Ultimate Peter Parker was revived later in the series.
yeah.
He
and
gets
Peter Parker
revived?
comic. Yeah,
He
died
came
to,
back. He's like immortal or some shit.
He
now.
died. He died
Yeah.
to the new version of Green Goblin. Like, and that was an actual Green Goblin, like in the movie, sort of. And
Kind of.
he got beaten to death, I believe. And
Well, it's like they had both killed each other. It was like
yeah,
kind of like a Superman versus Doomsday. It's like they both put each other down.
exactly.
Spider-Man's death is really sad.
He dies in the fight though, and yeah, pretty. Wasn't in like his front yard also. And
It was close to that.
Yeah.
Apparently, like short after, like when they were all going through the like kind of just downtime, Thor actually saw him dining in Valhalla.
yeah,
That's kind of cool.
That's dope.
There's even a panel of it I can find online. It's really nice.
Yeah, send me that when you can.
Yeah, I'll find it real quick.
But
yes. So our main star is Miles Morales, and it's taking place in New York, of course, and it's in modern time, right after Spider-Man dies. But it's in the movie, it's a bit different than the comic because Spider-Man dies a different type of way. But we're gonna get there after we talk about the story and then get to that point. So pretty much. Not Spider-Man, but Miles Morales. He's like this, I don't know, 15, 16-year-old kid or something
He's
like that.
15, I think.
Yeah, he's a
He's a
teenager.
youngin.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
young.
he's a teenager, and he's like he's really smart. So he got switched to this school, like this elite school, for people with great gifts and knowledge, pretty much. And
That smart people school.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. And it's a boarding school on top of that.
yeah, it is. He had to actually sleep there and everything.
My mom tried to send me to one, and I was like, if you ever send me there, I will never forgive you, like, at all.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
very opposed to the idea. I never wanted to go to one.
He gets sent to that school, and his dad is he has a black dad cop and a Hispanic mother. So if you wanted to know his race, there you go. He's
I
black
was
and
shocked when I found out he was part Puerto Rican. I was like, oh, got a little
Yeah.
Espanol in him.
Oh my God, his mom was hot as fuck. Okay, anyways.
Oh my god,
She was thick, my baby. God damn.
With 2 C's, thick.
But obviously he hates this school because he's missing all of his old friends and everybody around the block that he actually talks to.
I can relate to that so much.
And he feels like he doesn't fit into the school.
Yeah, and all those kids had like a stick up their ass.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the AP students at my high school, man.
Oh my god, I hate them so much.
So let's see. I'm trying to. I got vague memories of the beginning. It's not like the beginning was bad or anything.
No,
But-
it's I can take it on from here.
Yeah,
if you
go
want.
ahead. Sum it up.
All right, so Miles' Uncle Aaron. He's pretty cool. He's kind of like the rich, somewhat estranged uncle.
The
who
uncle
lets
that doesn't
Miles
try
be
to rape
himself.
you.
Yeah, he doesn't try to diddle Miles, which was a good thing. So he pretty much takes him down to this little secret spot in the subway to do some graffiti art because Miles is a graffiti artist.
Can
and
we
then
talk
bada
about
bing,
that,
bada
though?
boom, they're hanging out. Miles gets bit by by his radioactive spider, which is a special one because it gives him invisibility and electric shot. It's pretty cool. It's
His
pretty cool.
spider was dope
Oh.
looking.
And that scene
Yeah,
was
he has a dope
hilarious.
Dude, it was.
It was. I was expecting him to be on the ground writhing in pain, except
Yeah.
he just smacks it off like, oh, I got
Yeah.
bit.
He's like,
Because,
no, and
the way
stops it.
the way they did the scene, like they built the music up so dramatically and did the scene dramatically, and like it seemed like it was about to bite the hell out of him, and like it goes down for the bite on his hand, and it like zooms out and it's like a little bitty like bite, and then Miles looks down like, oh, what the fuck?
He
And
acted like he was a mosquito or something that just bit
yeah,
him.
he gives him a
Right.
casual little smack.
Bro, I would have freaked the hell out over a fucking huge spider like biting
Yeah,
me like that.
it was about the
Especially
size of
with
his hand.
multicolored, weird-looking spider like
Ex-
that. They kept glitching out of reality.
Like, I'd be like Googling shit and see if like the colors like mean
That's the
anything,
worst
like,
thing you can do. Don't go on Google looking for answers.
Dude, if
I
you go on
would've panicked.
Google and look up medical conditions, you're either just gonna come up with like cancer or AIDS. There's no middle ground.
I would have believed it though. Jeez.
Now I'm
Man.
thinking of that video of if Google was a guy. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I think I watched them forever ago.
They're hilarious. They made a part 5. But anywho, back to the topic at hand.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
go ahead, Jimmy.
Miles gets bit by the spider and he wants to check out his powers and well, not really. It's he hears a bunch of commotion going on in one of the other subway title what subway stations. I can't remember subway tunnels. That's what it is. He goes over there, sees this huge looking hadron collider, like this portal looking thing.
I think
And then you see Spider-Man and Kingpin / Fisk duking it out. And then they all...
And
then,
also Green Goblin.
yeah, and then there's me. I can't ever talk. Kingpin tries to beat him up. And then Spider-Man's all, oh, you're like me, after he sees Miles. Then they all got messed up after the big machine thing fires. Spider-Man gets pinned under a bunch of rubble, or Peter Parker Spider-Man gets pinned under a bunch of rubble. Tells Miles to get out of there, go keep this little flash drive on him.
a
that
goober.
can destroy the goober. Keep the goober on him, because it can mess up the machine, make it not work. Then Fisk goes over there, punches Spider-Man so hard he dies, Peter Parker Spider-Man. And then
Okay.
Fisk sends his henchman, Prowler, after Miles. Then Miles
Whose
barely
music
gets away
is
from
just
Prowler.
dope every time he's on the scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Prowler's suit was amazing. Amazing Spider-Man, that was a bit of a joke I didn't even know I made.
Ooh, you shouldn't have said nothing. You should have let it sink in.
Yeah, well, alright, I'm gonna let someone else take over, because
Oh my goodness. No wait. So can we talk about the moment when Kingpin just X'd off Peter Parker? I was kind of shocked that they showed that because technically, I guess this is a kids movie.
Well,
yeah,
Yeah, oh, that shocked me too, actually. Like, he just goes for the kill, like, right away. He asked him a question, and I forgot what Peter said, but he said something that he didn't like, obviously. And Kingpin
yeah,
was
he was like, yeah, you're not like I saw what's in there. Like you're never gonna get them back or something.
yeah,
like that.
that's what it was.
yeah, and then Kingpin got mad and just straight killed him.
And
Honestly,
by doing- And Kingpin's always been a really big guy. He looks really fat, but it's not fat. It's pure muscle. Like, the guy's
Yeah.
built like a fucking elephant.
yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
he pretty much... He kind of, he gives Peter the old Dio donut. And gives him the old, Tatooine treatment.
He gives him the if you play Smash, what Donkey Kong does as a meteor smash with his
Yeah.
two hands, he pretty much did that to Peter.
Pretty much.
If you're a JoJo fan, you're like, Ozawa
Yeah,
Did
so
you see that video I posted earlier?
Yeah, I saw, that shit was funny. That cat fucked her up.
So not long after Peter dies, we got Miles Morales trying to go up to actually do that, but he like steps away for a second, and Kingpin immediately notices. He's like, somebody go kill that guy. He didn't even see him. He's just like, hey, kill him.
Yeah, then he sends Prowler after him.
Yeah, he sends Prowler after him, who was there also fighting Spider-Man at the same time. I didn't know who the hell Prowler was, but
And
Yeah,
either.
I didn't know who he was until this movie.
I'm
yeah,
more of a semi-casual fan of Spider-Man. Like, I read the comics for the most part.
I'm
so
not
not-
a hard.
I'm not
I'm
a
not-
massive knowledge guy.
Yeah, I'm not a hardcore fan of any comic book hero. I love every comic book hero. It's just I'm not a hardcore fan. I don't know every fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Spider-Man's the one I know the most of because he's my favorite.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, same.
So pretty much a few days after Miles gets away from Prowler in the area, but the goober gets crushed because Miles falls on it. I think it was.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And then
He was-
so New York's having like a massive funeral for Peter. Everyone's all sad.
Mary Jane
then,
makes a speech and everything.
Yeah, then after Miles starts finding
That
out his
soundtrack here
powers.
is awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, the soundtrack to this whole movie was amazing.
I
It
downloaded
was
the whole
super
soundtrack.
I'd been listening to it daily.
Yeah.
I've been listening to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard daily.
Oh my goodness.
So not long after the funeral, I think later on that night, I believe, was it the same night or was it another night? He goes to Peter's grave.
Hold on, wait.
I think it was the
We-
same night.
We forgot about something. So when Peter died, they had the ceremony. All of New York and probably the whole world was watching, and and everyone is wearing these store-bought Spider-Man costumes.
Oh, yeah, the Stan Lee cameo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Miles goes and buys one, and that's when we get to see Stan. Now, I was not expecting him to be in this movie. I don't know why I didn't, but for some reason, I just did not expect him to make an
Oh,
appearance.
well, I heard that he did this before, he passed.
Yeah, I remember that, but for some reason, it just didn't click while I was in the theater.
Oh,
But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up, so
It was a
because
good one.
it's important because we don't have him anymore, and these next few movies that he's in are going to be it. Anything afterwards is not going to be there.
Yeah.
I think he'll have cameos, just not, talking ones. Like, he'll show up somewhere or
It'll
something.
probably just be like a picture or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick note: any of you guys see the Stan Lee cameo in the PS4 game? It's a good one.
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it online.
I think. I don't remember.
I mean, I vaguely remember it, but I do remember it. Whenever Stan pops, I was like, "Oh, it's cool, man." I think he pops towards the middle or the end of the game.
It's a bit towards closer to the beginning, middle,
Yeah.
like around 30%. I'd say. Alright, but back
Yeah.
to the subject on hand. Miles goes to Peter's grave in the cheap Spider-Man costume, and then you see a mysterious figure walking up to Miles in the grave, saying,
You mean the hobo?
"Hey, what?
Yeah, the hobo.
Yeah, the hobo."
Yeah, this Spider-Man is like 30 years old, and he's like a future Spider-Man from another dimension, obviously.
No.
Yeah, he's
it's-
another Peter.
He's
He's Peter from a bit more of a sadder timeline in which he gets divorced.
I think he's the
yeah,
Peter
yeah.
that we know
I
because
won't really say sad. A more pathetic Spider-Man.
yeah,
He's slightly out of weight.
slightly.
Yeah,
He's a more relatable Spider-Man.
I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in Miles' universe, Spider-Man, everything Peter did in that universe went right. He had his own toy line. He got a Christmas album, and the Peter we get introduced to with Miles at the graveyard is pretty much the exact opposite. His life
Well,
went
it's more
down
so-
the pooper.
It went right at first, and then there was a slow decline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Because he's a Superman.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Peter of Miles's the original Peter in Miles' timeline, he was blonde, whereas the new Peter that was introduced at this point, he's got the classic brown hair.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
we're used to, as far as the big
Yeah.
screen goes.
Right.
Big
And,
screen of comics.
Yeah.
I gotta put that in.
So yeah, he's like slightly chubby. He's divorced, and he's pretty much like he's not giving up on his career or anything like that. He's had it pretty much.
Yeah, he's a bit more.
He's like down on his luck.
Seasoned.
Yeah, he's down on his luck, Spider-Man. He's been dealt a bad hand lately.
He pretty much sneaks up on Miles while Miles is pretty much grieving over the dead Spider-Man, and he gets surprised and pretty much knocks him out like right away. He
Like
shocks
Donovan
him.
did with his own stun
Yeah.
gun.
Miles bought the stun gun sock from the Julian Honecker fan club for $49.99, and he had to prove to us that he would use it only for good.
Shameless
Because
plug.
with the original gun sock, you have to prove that you would use it only for good, as Nedro admitted that he would only use the gun sock only for good, out of the respect for his fallen opponent. And so that was a callback.
Oh my goodness.
Sure, buddy.
Just like how me wearing the stun gun sock, or in the stun gun sock video, I was wearing my Bruce Lee shirt, which was a callback, a totally intentional callback, to me wearing the Bruce Lee shirt in the Cooking with Julian video.
Oh, that's why you had that shirt on.
It's even more interconnected than the MCU.
Oh my goodness. Anywho, so as Miles turns around, he gives he's in his universe he's Peter B. Parker, so we'll call him Peter B. Simple. But he sneaks up on Miles. Miles electroshocks him unconsciously, and the next thing you know, the cops show up, and Miles is freaking out. He doesn't know what to do, so he picks up the body, and that's when he realizes that, oh, this is another Spider-Man from not from a different universe. He's like, this is another Spider-Man.
Yeah, and he was kind of stuck to him because he tried to.
Yeah, he couldn't figure out how to
take his web off.
unstick.
Yeah.
He couldn't figure out how to unstick his sticky fingers.
Yeah. So
and it led to a very funny chase scene.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like if you saw what they showed their preview in like another movie that I watched, I think it was at the end of Black Panther. If you watch the ending scene, like watch Black Panther all the way to the end credits, they showed you that scene. So I'd already seen that, so I knew it was coming, but it was still funny to see it.
Right. And we didn't mention earlier when he first discovered his powers, he met Gwen. The Gwen that we.
Gwen Stacy.
The Gwen, like Spider Gwen, but he doesn't know that, and we didn't either. Actually, we thought it was just a regular Gwen from his dimension, but apparently
Gwen Stacy who hadn't died yet.
Yeah, and so
that was a bummer death.
So he has a crush on her, and he talks to his uncle about trying to, date her.
Trying to get the digits. He tried to get them digits.
He
taught him the shoulder touch.
Yeah, he taught him the shoulder touch, which he tried the day he was having problems with his webbing. And
hold up, wait.
He puts his hand on her shoulder, and he's like, "Hey." And
have any of you tried that in your actual life? And don't you dare lie to me.
I want to try it now. And if she gets the reference, she is a keeper. I swear to God.
Yeah,
yes,
dude.
Oh,
hey.
Oh my goodness, it's so creepy.
I'm gonna go to Impact and do that so much, dude.
Donovan, if you do it, I promise you, I'm gonna have the camera ready to record.
Yes, I really want to do it now.
We have to make it a thing now.
Yes.
Hey, guess what I found the other day? Reference to the Marvel podcast that hasn't been uploaded yet. I found my copy of Marvel Nemesis: Rise of the Imperfects. That one really edgy fighting game with
Nice.
Spider-Man and the Thing.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I found my copy of it.
And whoop ass.
Whoopee.
So pretty much,
One tooth motherfucker.
during this encounter with Gwen, he touches the shoulder, and she's like, okay. And then he tries to get his hand off of it, and she's like, can you let me go, please? And it becomes a disaster pretty quickly. And then he ends up ripping out some of her hair.
Actually, I like that segue because it explains how she got the haircut when you see her in the trailers. Because her hair is kind of shaved already, and you're like, why is it like that? So it was a nice segue into that.
Right. Yeah. And okay, now skipping back to where we were, he was currently running from the cops, and after he gets away, I think, where did Miles take Peter? Oh no, he took him to his place, and that's where Peter pretty much explained where he came from, and he gave him the whole little rundown.
Yeah, he took him to Uncle Aaron's place, and he tied him to the punching bag.
Yeah, he ties the future Peter from a punching bag, questioning him pretty much, and Peter breaks out on his own pretty much, and then
But
Raps
he does it while they're still talking though.
Yeah, and he pretty much just leads into like a whole, hey buddy, make sure you know how well you know the guy before you tie him up. Because Peter like effortlessly broke out of there.
Yeah,
He's like,
and that
hey,
proves
yeah,
that he's
it's
been
like,
doing it for a
lesson
while.
1, don't watch the mouth, watch the hands.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But that proves like he's been doing it for a while, even though he's kind of out of shape.
he's out of shape, but he's still fucking skilled,
Yeah.
like really skilled.
Yeah.
So
Like, he-
he's
he-
really good.
Again, it's not like he's 300 pounds. He's only got like a little bit of chub.
Yeah, that's from like stress eating over his divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Still not a muscle underneath that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. He's like Kingpin. It ain't fat. It's muscle.
Sure.
But I love the fact that he pretty much wears sweatpants like almost the whole movie.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that was great.
Yeah.
And the PS4 game, like the third DLC pack, adds the Spider-Verse suit. I was hoping it would have the sweatpants, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's
Yeah,
still
that-
really nice looking though.
But yeah, over his spider suit, he wears sweatpants like over them. It's hilarious. He looks like a gym teacher or something trying to dress as Spider-Man.
It's great.
Oh,
And the entire time, Miles is just wearing one of those, pretty much like the dollar store brand knockoff Spider-Man costumes.
But actually, like while the movie was going on, I was getting annoyed with like him wearing that piece of garbage suit that you could buy anywhere.
I know, the entire time I was hoping, when is he getting his suit?
But when he finally gets the suit and the way he does
It's
it's
amazing.
so worth it. It's so worth it to me.
It's
Oh yeah.
so good. It's so good.
Like when I went to the movie, I also dressed up. I have the Miles Morales suit, like the one he wears in the movie. I have it, and I
Yeah, that
love
cosplay's fucking amazing.
Yeah, dude.
it. It's very
Yeah.
comfy too. When I put it on, I don't want to take it off.
I want to go to MTech. Is that? That's a really good costume.
I mean, you can get it off Amazon, dude, for like $50. That's how much I paid for it.
It's just hard to figure out what size everything is for you.
Go by Japanese size.
I have
So
a Darth Nihilus cosplay. It's all homemade. It's pretty neat.
So where were we?
I'm gonna dress up as Hobo Spider-Man.
you won't be the only one, I guarantee it.
So pretty much, Miles was pretty much asking the new Spider-Man for tips on, Spider-Manning.
And
pretty
he,
much.
Yeah,
he flat
pretty
out
much training,
refused
like-
in the beginning.
Yeah, and he refuses, like any other future mentor would do. They always.
Oh, wait.
in the
Wait,
beginning.
big part of Peter's backstory as to part of the reason why he doesn't want to train Miles. The reason why Peter and MJ got divorced was that Peter didn't want kids.
Yeah,
That's a big part of the story.
Yeah, he was scared that he wouldn't be able to live up to what I guess a father is supposed to be for their child.
right.
I think that's around what it was.
Because he's done his hero work. He doesn't think he's going to be around a lot.
Which is, I get that completely.
I do
Yeah.
too.
True.
It's hard to kind of mix personal life things with that type of life, and then he puts them in danger also when he's being a hero. Because if you ever get found out
You're
or
screwed.
treated or attacked or anything like that, his family's in danger, including.
Yep.
So he's trying to get the new Peter to be his mentor, and he declines. And then he tells him he has the little what is it called, the goober.
The goober.
And
The goober.
hard drive, and he was like, "Where'd you get that?" Blah blah blah. And he takes it, and he pretty much tries to leave, but he couldn't bring himself to just leave. And he comes back, and he's like, "Fine, I'll do it." Like talking about training him. And so the next day, he takes him out to eat burgers, and you can see this is where they kind of show how the new Peter eats, like his little habits of eating. He was
tearing that food up.
Yeah, he was
It's
destroying.
great.
He was getting down.
And like, you going to eat that? And he like takes his shit. I was like, geez, man.
But also,
Right,
like
right.
he said in the movie that like the restaurant they're eating at in his universe, that restaurant closed down like a few years back.
Yeah, it closed down.
Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah, it
for
was
him,
like, in
it
my
was.
universe, done. Closed. What were you saying?
So I was just saying, like for him, that was a bit of nostalgia, probably with a mix of I'm hungry as crap right now.
Mm,
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah, definitely.
I think not long after this scene, we get a chase scene with the Prowler and Miles,
Yep.
but I don't remember how it led up to it.
Um.
Prowler was just out on patrol, I think it was.
Yeah, he kind of walks
Or he
in on
found
Peter.
something in the sequel.
He walks in on Peter. I don't know where Peter was for the Prowler.
Walks in.
He did. He walked in on him because you know Miles was. I don't even. Where was Miles?
No, wait. So okay.
He was in some house or something.
No, so this is where like
No, he went to Uncle Aaron's to try to speak to Aaron, and then Prowler was all, hey look, it's the kid.
Oh,
That-
so he was at his uncle's house.
yeah.
yeah.
This
Okay, so he was at his uncle's house, and the Prowler walks in pretty much, and he noticed that somebody is kind of snooping around in his place pretty much, and I say his place because you're about to find out. And Miles is invisible. He uses his invisibility on accident, and this is pure luck. And he hides from the Prowler, and he doesn't get spotted yet. And the Prowler takes off his helmet and revealed that.
Wait, Xiamaroux.
Oh, what?
Hush.
Wait,
Hush.
what? Didn't this happen like after they broke into that lab or whatever?
yeah, I was like, I think we're
Oh yeah.
so I think
Like I said, I got vague memories of like the order of this movie.
yeah, so I think after they ate, they talk about going to make a copy because you know the source data has to be somewhere, and I forget how they figure out where this lab is, but they find out where the lab is, which is this lab is ran by Kingpin.
Yeah, by Fisk.
Yeah, by Fisk, and they go to it, and this is also where we get introduced to another character who I was actually really glad to see.
Yeah, that was
surprised.
cool. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
In this universe,
Surprised.
Doc Ock is a woman. I thought that was dope. I didn't even think anything about it. Her name is it's Octavius something. I can't remember.
It's Olivia Octavius.
Yeah, and at first I thought that she was gonna say yeah, like my father was Doc Ock or something like that, but no, it's just
Yeah,
you know,
same.
she's just
She is Doc.
yeah,
Yeah,
she
that was
is
cool.
in that universe she is the original Doc Ock, which I thought was really dope. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, but before they meet her, they break in, they get into where they need to go. But Peter, being a veteran Spider-Man, you know, he gets in there with ease. It's nothing to him. He's like, this is another day at the office for me. Miles, on the other hand, who has no grip
takes a
on
lot
his
of-
powers at all,
Yeah.
ends up getting stuck to the
Just-
ceiling.
just-
which is one of the funniest scenes ever. And Peter is trying to tell him, "Hey man, relax." And he's like, think of something that calms you down. And that's when we. This isn't the first time we hear this song. We hear it at the beginning, like the Sway Lee Sunflower song with Post Malone. So he starts singing that, and he's just wiggling on the ceiling, looking like a plum fool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
And I mean, it pretty much causes a commotion, and that I think that is what brings, that universe's Doc Ock in there. And she catches Peter, and she's fascinated. She's like, "I'm gonna dissect you 6 ways to Sunday," because she realizes that he's from a different parallel universe. And the whole thing about that is, the longer Peter stays in that universe, more he's gonna end up fading out, because you can't be from a different universe chilling out in someone else's. Your atoms don't really appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's why he kept like glitching and shit.
Oh, and if you want to know where this Doc Ock originated from, by the way, she came from the Amazing Spider-Man #3, pretty much. That was her first appearance.
Honestly, I think I prefer her over the original, over the male counterpart.
I just like that they did a whole new story, and it's not like the mentor thing, and yeah, but that was Peter's story, so. But yeah, I like that too. It was a twist because I did not expect that.
A lot of good choices were made with this movie, to be perfectly honest. And I know we're jumping all over the place, but it's been a while since we've seen it.
Well,
Yeah, I saw it on the 26th.
I saw it last week, but it's still.
I saw it the day it came out.
It's everywhere to me. Like the movie is like it's not in a bad way. Like it was so much that happened.
Yeah.
So I kind of got everything out of order.
But you know
Yeah,
So long story short, they break out, and you know this is when Peter starts really teaching Miles. He's like, hey, you know, he's teaching him how to swing. He's like, you know, he's like tap it twice to release, you know, and they're swinging through the woods. You know, they're getting the rhythm on. They going, and then either Doc Ock stops them or they hit a branch or whatever, but something stops them, and that's when we get introduced to Gwen, like again.
Officially.
Yeah, officially. She's in her suit. And by the way, her suit is the best look. No, I don't know who I like more, her suit or Miles, because both those suits are just gorgeous.
Dude, yes, both of them got the
Yeah.
two suits.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say my favorite suit out of all was Spider-Man Noir. Because I love noir settings.
Yeah, same.
Noir and Spider-Ham stole the movie. They did. It was
They
great.
were the comedy relief of the movie. Comedic relief.
Yeah.
But
Spider-Man Noir is voiced by Nicolas Cage, if you didn't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was like, you know what? It makes perfect sense. That's perfect. That fit him perfectly.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, continue.
so prior to meeting Gwen in the woods this time, she was already in the lab. I guess she managed to get a job there, part-time sweeping. I don't know. Because like before they break out, we do see her, and she's like, "Oh, okay." She knows what she has to do at this point. She saves them. They get up out of Dodge, and then this is where Miles and Peter and Gwen end up going to Aunt May's house.
Yeah, it was shortly after that they went to Aunt May's.
Yeah.
You know, Aunt May is pretty much like, you know, what took you so long? And I was like, alrighty then, Aunt May's a bad A in this movie.
Dude, she's amazing. I love her.
Aunt May's great.
Yeah.
So she reveals that, you know, she takes them out back to a rickety old looking shed, and you know, Peter B. Parker, I guess his Aunt May in his universe was a part of his team too, because he wasn't really surprised by this. He was like, "Oh, watch this. This is gonna be dope."
Yeah. Well, she taught him a lot of things too. I mean, he taught her a lot of things too in this universe.
She was
Like-
pretty much Alfred. It was amazing.
Yeah. She's the Alfred of this, for Spider-Man, pretty much. Like,
Have
she
you
does
noticed
a
they've been
lot.
trying to give Aunt May like better roles lately instead of like just being a helpless old woman?
Yeah, I like that.
I like it too.
You
But
know,
yeah, and that inside of that shed, it like goes down like an elevator, and you see it's pretty much a bat cave for Spider-Man, so a spider cave.
yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like
make
a
that joke.
Yeah, but it's like a montage of like all the spider stuff like over the years. You see the Spider-Man
Got the
vehicles.
spider buggy.
Yeah, I remember that as a toy. I used to want one. And then you know, it goes down, and this like there's some Easter eggs from the game in here too. Like the suit that they
Yeah,
showed
the
in
advanced suit they
Yeah,
made
yeah,
for the
they had the
PS4 game,
suit.
it's in there.
Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
there.
Hey, Xiamaroux, look to the right. I mean, left.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
Dude.
And Miles makes a joke because I think he was asking for like a cape at one point, and Peter was like, "We don't wear capes," and then there was like a suit down there with like a cape, which I didn't like that suit at all.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like,
it was like
Spider-Man
it-
with a cape doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But
like
that's when we
Spider-Man
get
Noir 'cause he's got
introduced
the trench
to
coat.
the three others.
Spider-Ham and Noir.
He was like, "Take that off. You're disgracing us."
Just like, no to the cape. No, we do not wear capes.
I agree. I'd agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, he doesn't need a cape.
It doesn't
Right.
make sense. I agree. It's like what that one chick off of Incredible said: if you wear a cape, you're probably gonna get caught in something and killed.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Makes so
Edna,
much sense.
Edna Mode from Incredibles. Every time she shows someone with a cape, they got caught up in a jet turbine. One dude got caught up in a tornado. It was just bad.
Yeah.
So
But,
this is when we
oh,
get introduced to the other three characters. We get introduced to Spider Ham, Spider Noir, and Penny Parker.
and they also had the same idea to stop at, the shed.
But wait, I did like the fact that like at each character they kind of gave them like a little spotlight of a quick synopsis on how where they come from and what they how they got their powers and all that.
Yeah, Spider Noir fights Nazis,
Yep, he
and he's
does.
good. And sometimes he'll let the match burn down into his fingertips just to feel something. Anything.
Yeah.
and wherever he goes, the wind follows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, quite literally.
The dude was like, "Wait,
How's your Pokemon? There's no wind in here.
Yeah.
And it's like, the wind goes wherever I go.
I was like, I like
I
this
was like, I
guy.
love this guy already."
And Spider Ham. I had never heard of Spider Ham until this movie, but apparently he has a really big following.
He does. He does have a fairly big following.
But then we also get introduced to Penny Parker, who I thought was the more normal one out of them all, even though she does fight with a giant spider mech. But I mean,
Yeah,
does she have powers, or are the powers in the suit?
I think it's
I don't know. I don't remember much about Penny.
I mean, I liked her
I seen the
design,
suit.
anime, super kawaii. She was
I
very.
think she's just really smart.
Super
and
kawaii
she makes-
Spider Gundam Chan. I think
There's nothing wrong with Gundam. That was my first anime.
Oh, apparently in the sequel we might be getting a Japanese Spider-Man. If you don't know Japanese Spider-Man, he was a Spider-Man of a Japanese TV show. Full on Tokatsu, Spider-Man had a fucking mech suit. Like, he had a gigantic mech in it. It was awesome.
I thought we were gonna get the one with I thought we were getting Spider-Man 3099 because when it-
2099,
yeah,
not 39.
well we'll talk about that because that's more of the ending stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's when Miles gets introduced to the rest of the gang pretty much, and that's pretty much where they bombard him about being a Spider-Man because he's still technically in training. He only and only maybe like a week has passed since he's had his powers in the movie,
Yeah.
so he's
Yeah,
fresh.
it's been not even a week. I'd say like 5 days.
Yeah,
maybe four.
he's super
Yeah.
fresh still, and he's like, so he pretty much asked like, what does it mean to be a Spider-Man? And the rest of them bombard him with just like saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Noir had like the funniest one. He was like,
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what he said, but
I don't remember.
it was
It's like,
hilarious.
you can handle like a biscuit boxer in the ring or something like that.
And this is when, at this point, Peter B. Parker, Hobo Spider-Man, as most people will recognize him as in the movie, he's really starting to take he's taking his role as a mentor more seriously. And he tells Miles pretty much like, you don't ever really know. It's just like a leap of faith. And now that I'm talking about it, I think I'm leaping a bit ahead. But I mean, it's pretty much
Okay.
essentially.
Yeah. Well, he tells them a few times throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Which I agree with, like in that line of work, like just in
You gotta be prepared.
yeah,
It just happens, pretty much.
yeah. Like
Whenever
I only
you're-
think it's about being prepared because, like superheroes exist. It's just not in the sense that we would love. You got policemen, you got firemen, and most people say, my body just reacted. I didn't have time to think about it. I didn't have time to think about, oh, is this gonna hurt? Oh, what if I mess up? I had to, go. I just
Yeah,
went.
you didn't even think about it or ask questions. It just happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I agreed with that. I thought that was a cool little message, to put out there and all that.
and they all. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna get there yet because right before that, what I was about to bring up, they get ambushed pretty much, right?
Yeah, because they got followed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they pretty much destroy. Actually, when the villains bust in, it's funny. Aunt May had like the funniest scene. She was like, "No, take this outside. Like, do what you need to do. Just get out of my house."
Yeah.
She
they got
hit
that
the
thing in their
window
house.
with the bat.
Yeah, I think it was either Tombstone just smacked him on the head with a bat. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she hit Scorpion actually.
Well,
It might have been Scorpion.
so like, pretty much like all the villains converge on that place. But can we talk about their designs? Their designs were actually really refreshing to me, especially Scorpion's. He actually looked like a freaking scorpion.
He's a Hispanic.
Yeah, he is Hispanic in this movie.
And he's like half Scorpion at the bottom because not actual Scorpion either. It's like
robot Scorpion.
Yeah,
because I guess he's missing his legs or something. They didn't give him a backstory. It's not about him. That's why. And it's like, oh, it's so cool though. It's like a little mech on with a human body. I love it.
Yeah.
And then you have who else we got? We got Prowler in there. We have Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And was there anybody else?
Tombstone, but Tombstone didn't really play a pivotal role as well. He was just there.
Yeah, Tombstone was there. He didn't really do much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the movie.
Like, honestly, I didn't know it was Tombstone until my fiance told me. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Tombstone plays a bigger role in the PS4 game.
Yeah, he does. I still have to do his side missions, actually.
His side missions are pretty fun.
I haven't met him in the game yet.
I have this really good screen cap. It's me in the noir suit with the robot arms.
Oh yeah.
Power equipped, and I just have it really dark, so it looks like Tombstone just like fucking fighting off the spider monster. It looks sick.
That sounds dope.
Nice.
Send that to me.
Yeah, I'll send it real quick. I just gotta put it on my.
It's
No, but
all-
let's get back to the thing at hand.
Yeah, and
I mean, so. Actually, we did skip around. So, at what point did Miles go to his uncle's house, and he pretty much finds out who he is?
Oh, it was like right after he left the spider cave.
Yeah,
And then that's how
okay,
he
yeah.
got like followed back to Aunt May's, and that's
Oh
when
yeah, yeah. It was because he felt all down after getting kicked out of the group.
Pretty much.
for being weak, he couldn't do
Well,
it.
it wasn't really weak. It was more so
He
just
wasn't
being
ready.
mentally unprepared.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready to shoulder the responsibility.
He was weak. That's why.
Darn, calling my man weak like that.
They didn't call him weak, but that's pretty much why. He wasn't ready.
Yeah.
He was
was-
mentally weak.
So,
No,
Af-
not mentally. Physically.
after
maybe.
his,
experience.
He doesn't have it.
Yeah.
yeah, so pretty much after they pretty much talk smack to Miles and pretty much make him feel depressed, he decides to go to his uncle's. He's not there, so he goes inside because he uses the window from the fire staircase or whatever. I can't remember.
Fire escape.
Yeah, fire escape. Thank you. And
You're welcome.
Prowler walks in. That's when Miles activates his invisibility by mistake. And this is when we find out that Prowler is his uncle. Miles doesn't want to believe it, so he tries to take off, and this starts up the chase scene. And actually, one of the dopest scenes too, when Miles is running, he almost like a car or something flips over, but his spider senses kick in. His spider senses and his reflexes kick in. He jumps over the car while it's still in midair, and it's a nice slow-mo scene of him just dodging out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he gets
backflips over it.
yeah, he does. But at some point, Prowler gets a call from Fisk. He's like, "Hey, man, we got stuff to do. Come on." He's like, "All right, man, I gotta go." So, and that's when I guess that's when we lead up to the whole fight scene at Aunt May's house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where we currently are now. And not long after that, he's going against Prowler, obviously, because Prowler has been trying to get him specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And he pretty much gets pinned by the Prowler. Not pinned down on the ground or anything. But
He's
he
holding
gets,
him up in the air. Off the roof.
Yeah, he was being held like to the edge of the roof, and he had nowhere to go pretty much.
And
Yeah.
that's
And Kingpin was watching, by the way.
yeah, he was watching the entire time from the safety of his car.
Yep. And pretty much he was about to demask. No, he was about to just go ahead and kill him.
Yeah.
And Miles takes off his mask and shows his face to his uncle. And his uncle freaks out. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Oh my God, that's you!" And he couldn't bring himself to kill his own.
And that's when Kingpin just busts out the car with a normal pistol and just caps him.
Right.
Oh no, he was like, "Kill him! Do it now!"
What are you doing, Prowler? Kill him.
Good, Prowler. Good.
And then you see Prowler put his claws up and everything. He was like, "I can't." And he puts Miles down. He was like, "I can't do it." And he gets shot right away, like quickly.
Now at that point, I was like, okay, now I was like, this is the scene I was waiting for. I was like, the tragic. I said, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be his uncle or is it gonna be somebody else?
Every Spider-Man loses somebody.
Because in the game, Miles
Most
loses
of the time
his father.
it's the uncle.
What'd y'all say?
I was saying in the Spider-Man game, the recent one, Miles loses his father, and in this movie, he loses his uncle.
Oh, Miles is in the game?
Oh crap! Yeah, you didn't know that.
Julian, you're just moiling it.
My bad. Anywho, we're gonna mosey on past it. So yeah, Miles loses his uncle, which I was waiting for. I was like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? And I was sad because his uncle was actually really dope.
Yeah, he was really cool.
I loved his uncle. He was really, really cool.
Yeah, his suit was awesome.
And it's funny because, you know, Miles liked his uncle more because his dad, you know, is really overbearing. I thought his dad went overboard when he was when he dropped him off at school and he was like, "I said I love you." Dad, really? I said I love you.
Yeah, he was using the police like siren to do that too.
He was like, say it back.
Dad,
I love you, Dad.
I love you.
Oh, that picture's cool, by the way.
I think.
Yeah, that is dope.
Oh,
He sent the picture of the picture he was talking about with the new R suit
that's
in the game.
That's cool.
Wow, that is cool though. Okay. Anyways, where were we?
Pretty much after the death of Miles'
His
uncle.
So right here, I don't remember how they got out of this situation. Actually,
I don't remember either, but Miles manages to take his uncle's body like with him, and
yeah,
I think somehow the police got called, and his dad was the first one on the scene, because I think he heard it was something dealing with Spider-Man, and you know, also we didn't say this, but in this movie, Miles' father does not like Spider-Man like at all.
yeah, he doesn't like him at all.
He has like a deep disdain for him, like Jonah Jameson.
So Miles Morales takes his uncle's body. He places it in a
In an alleyway, as
Yeah,
always.
to grieve on his own, pretty much. And his dad walks up, and he doesn't know who either of them are yet because, you know, first off, they're in a distance, and Miles is kind of covering his uncle's face, and Miles has a Halloween costume on of Spider-Man, and he's like, freeze! And Miles pretty much goes invisible and leaves, and then he sees his brother, which is the uncle, and he just breaks down right there.
Because they're relate. They didn't expressly say, but you could tell the way they interacted with each other. Their relationship was kind of estranged. I guess it was like
they were distant, but they still loved each other. They're brothers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like so,
Yeah,
pretty
good
much
man.
like is Miles's father is like the super strict one, and his uncle was
The
the
easy
laid
going.
back one. You know, the one that goofed off, I guess, and who was into some mischievous things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
and it was so sad.
it was.
They
But-
did that scene really well.
So after this, I think Miles goes back to his dorm room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And you know that's when the rest of the spider people come in. They try to talk to him, try to calm him down, and he's, at this point he's kind of determined. He's like, okay, we have to go, get Fisk back, and all that. And that's when the rest of them, and actually, at one point, when does Miles' roommate walk in? Because this is when Spider-Ham says one of the funniest lines in the movie.
Oh yeah, they jumped on the ceiling in the corner because his roommate runs in the door. Not runs in, but just walks in, and you hear the song, "We're in here trying to start a riot," and then like in his headphones. That's a part of the soundtrack, by the way. And he just turns around, and like as he's turning, they're like moving on the ceiling trying to avoid him, and he eventually turns around and see him, and then Spider-Ham is like, so if I don't remember what he said, but
he was like, hey, does animals talk in this universe? Because I don't want to freak him out.
And then he just passes out.
Yeah, dude passes out like immediately, and they kind of just sit him in his bed and leave.
Yeah. So I mean,
great.
at this point, Miles is pretty like he's raring to go, but it's only based off of anger and probably anger, sadness, and regret. And
that's all it was.
Yeah. And at this point, Peter B. Parker tells, the rest of the spider people leave, and he's like, okay, I'll take you with us, but you have to be able to, turn invisible on command. And he's like, do it. Miles can't do it. He just doesn't know how yet. He, like we've been saying, he just got his powers in this movie.
And then not even that, he wraps him up and then like ties him up and hangs him like from his torso, and he's like, well, if you want to get out of this, go ahead and shock me on command also. And
he can't do it.
You see him really trying hard, but he's like angered right now, so like he's not really thinking like he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it shows that he still wasn't ready, so.
And that's
like,
also when Peter gives him that line again. No, Miles asks like, okay, if I'm not ready now, when? He's like, when will I be ready to do this? And Peter's like, it's not something that you can just be told to do. You just know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And pretty much what happens is the future Peter, he says that he's going to stay behind. And they're glitching out, by the way. They're going to die if they stay too long in this universe.
Like I said, their atoms don't appreciate being in another parallel universe.
Yeah, he makes the decision to stay behind and let everybody else go back to their regular dimensions as he closes the portal pretty much, like when it gets opened back up. And they leave Miles behind right there, and they're going ahead and going to their mission.
Yep. And so the mission is they're going to the kaleidoscope has been rebuilt at Fisk's one of his estates, not estates, his towers. Apparently it needs like the mayor or something in this universe. Or something close to that. I don't know.
I don't know.
What'd you say?
I thought he was like a mayor or something. But anywho, so their mission is to, get back home, but to do that they have to go back to the kaleidoscope. The new one, Fisk rebuilt the old one and is under his tower. They go, and actually at this point they're having a dinner for I think Spider-Man, because Mary Jane is there, and everything.
It was for Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was
every waitress and waiter, they were dressed like Spider-Man, or at least had the helmet on, or not helmet.
They had the mask on at least.
Yeah, and this is where that funny scene came in with future Peter, and you get to see how he is with Mary Jane, because he sees the current one that we know from
I thought it was actually kind of sad.
It is pretty sad. It's sad, but it was a funny scene. Like it was
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is sad because he's not over Mary Jane, obviously, and he sees her and he's like, she's beautiful, and he immediately tries to go talk to her, and she comes up to him actually. He's ready to blow his cover, to be honest.
Yeah, he is. He's ready. He's about to risk it all.
Too.
And,
actually, at one point he does risk it all. He does pretty much blow his cover. Well, Mary Jane's like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah. She
And-
thought he was a waiter or whatever and trying to get bread.
Yeah. And Gwen had to pretty much, like get him like, what are you doing? Come on, let's go.
Pretty much, and then he kind of changes it up and then says he's gonna go get a bread, and because he was about to tell her.
I should have been able to give you everything your bread.
Yeah, he had to keep changing the story up. He really wanted to tell her everything.
He really did.
But yeah. So after that scene, I don't remember what happened. So one of you go ahead.
So So I mean, while the dinner's going on, they manage to get inside. They get to the kaleidoscope and all that. They find the I guess it's like the reset button or whatever. But at that point in time, that's when Kingpin who's still at? Oh yeah, Kingpin and Doc Ock pull up to the scene, and stop them because they anticipated this. They're like, we knew what you were gonna do. Pretty much just waited for you to come to us. And while that's going on, we cut back to Miles. Miles is still in the chair, upset. And then he starts thinking, and I don't know what he was thinking about, but he manages to eventually activate his electro powers, which was dope.
Oh, it was due to the fact his dad came along.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But the whole time his dad was talking, he couldn't do anything because he was tied up in a chair, pretty much.
Yeah.
So after Miles breaks free of the chair, after his dad leaves, from with a heartfelt confession, I felt for the man. I was like, go ahead and pour your heart out, man. It was actually kind of nice to see like I really didn't want to bring this up, but like it was nice to see like an African American kid whose father was still in the picture and actually cared.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool.
Oh my goodness. I never knew my father. Oh my goodness. But so after that, Miles decides he's gonna go back to Aunt May's house, who has been patiently waiting. She's like, "What took you so long?"
Right.
Once again, Aunt May just being a badass, sipping on her tea, waiting. She's like, "I knew you would come back." So
yeah, she was already in there waiting.
Right.
So in this universe, the way they shoot webs, they have the gauntlets, like normal.
The web slingers on the
web
wrist.
slingers.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Did Aunt May make these like for him specifically, or were these already made? Because she hands him,
I'm thinking they were some of Dead Peter's.
Yeah, because Peter, he needed help when he first started too. He probably had them when he first started.
Yeah. So she hands him the web shooters now.
Original universe, Peter made his own. He's smart.
But and this is when like the music cues up, and this is when we finally get the scene of Miles getting his suit. But the suit he took, I think, was like the normal original Spider-Man design. But Miles likes to do graffiti, so he throws his own little touch on it. And by God, when that suit was revealed, I was like, that is one of the dopest suits I've ever seen.
Yes.
And like
the homemade look of it made it look so good, dude.
Yes, it did. And then like I did like the fact that he still had his hoodie and his shorts on with the Jordans.
I love that.
Yeah, that was so dope.
And then like the music that was playing there for him, like when he's it's pretty much like a montage. It shows Miles on the building and he jumps off and he just falls, and it's the music. I can't remember. It's one of my favorite songs of the whole freaking soundtrack too.
Is it "What's Up, Danger"?
Yeah, like "What's Up, Danger."
Yeah, that's what the song is called. I listened to that track too many times.
The song is dope, but as Miles is free falling, he's thinking about what Aunt May said to him, what Peter said to him, and what his universe, as Peter said to him as he's falling, and he shoots the web slingers, and these things shoot like far. They reach like the top of the building in a split second. and he starts
Yeah.
swinging through the city, and he eventually ends up like a few blocks away from Fisk Tower, and that's when he's like, and that's when we finally get his intro, and he's like, I've been Spider-Man for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was, and then we cut back to the other Spider people. They're pretty much getting their stuff wrecked because they're glitching out on top of Doc Ock in this movie. She's really adept at combat.
Dude, she can fight.
Yeah,
She can.
she was no slacker at all. She was
had a
not
problem
letting
with
up.
her every time.
Fisk wasn't pretty much doing
every
nothing
time
but chilling in the control room. She's pretty much handling all the work.
Oh yeah, man.
And I think at some point the kaleidoscope gets activated. I just don't know when. I don't know if Miles shows up after it gets activated or beforehand. I really can't.
I want to say after, maybe, or like right after or something like that. Because when he showed up, I think Peter was like, "Oh, that doesn't look good," and he was like, "No, it does not." I think that's when it started.
Yeah, I think so.
And and then that's when Peter got surprised. He's like, "Miles, you can turn invisible," and he was like, "On command."
Mhm.
It was funny. So I mean,
But it doesn't Kingpin not walking on them, but he walks in and he's seeing that it's working. He's like, "Hey, turn it up."
oh
This
yeah.
is
So
before.
we haven't talked about this at all. So
Yeah, Kingpin's past.
yeah, actually, his motivation pretty much.
That also.
So
Yeah.
in this one, Kingpin is not. Well, I mean, beforehand, I guess he was evil for the sake of evil, but in this movie, at this current timeline, he's doing all this because he had a fight with that universe's Peter, and his family saw, and they left, but they ended up getting in a car wreck and they died. So
They saw and got scared of him.
yeah, which
You're like,
is,
what are you doing? What is this?
yeah, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
they freaked out and driving, get in a car wreck and die.
Yep. So Kingpin's whole deal is he wants to get his family back, and he figured, if I can't have them in this universe, I'll rip them from another universe, which I think is very flawed thinking.
That is quite flawed.
Which
And it's the reason why he hates Spider-Man. He holds Spider-Man accountable for their deaths.
I thought
Yeah.
that was
Plus, also,
irresponsible.
Spider-Man keeps interfering with all of his crooked schemes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not Spider-Man's fault. It's
Yeah,
his
I-
fault.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
it's entirely his
irresponsible
fault.
of
He
him.
shouldn't have been Kingpin.
He just blames Spider-Man for it, though.
He doesn't want to own up to it, the fact that it was his fault.
Yeah, he's like, if it weren't for you showing up, nothing would have happened. But if you didn't,
Stole my family from me.
I mean, they probably would have died on a hit later.
Probably.
So, I mean, a crime lord's family, I don't think they tend to last long.
No, they really don't. But his motivation in here, I liked it. It was better than just, I'm doing this for the sake of I want money. Because that
Yeah,
was,
it made him sympathetic a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
but
yeah.
so
He's
At
going
one
about
point-
it the wrong way.
yeah, he did. So when the
I
kaleidoscope,
feel now.
yeah, so
What?
at some point the kaleidoscope gets activated, and he does eventually see the parallel versions of his family, but they freak out just like the original ones did. They're like, what, wait, how are you here? You just left, or something like that. And they freak out, and he's like, wait, no. And I think Miles hits him or something, and they fade away or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, long story short, I mean, they fight. It's a good fight scene. Miles is, Miles. It was kind of crazy because in this fight, Miles is pretty much pulling out all the stops. He's
Yeah.
he's
He's
punching,
doing
he's dodging,
everything.
turning invisible, web slinging like he's been doing it for years.
Right. Dude got really freaking good. all
Like
of
he got a
sudden.
super duper power.
For real.
He went from level 2 to level 30 instantly.
That's how Spider-Man works.
It is.
I mean, he's still kind of clumsy with his fighting and web slinging and stuff, but he still did it.
He did.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, eventually, it gets down to the point where eventually he gets the upper hand and he sends the rest of them back. Now, Spider-Ham's goodbye was hilarious because he hands Miles a mallet and he's like, "Here,
Oh, yeah.
here, you can keep this in your pockets." I'm like, no, he can't. And then, and you know, Spider Noir had one of the best lines, ending lines too. He was like, "I'm taking this a Rubik's cube because I can't figure it out." Because you know, in his universe, everything's black and white. He doesn't see.
Well, yeah,
color.
he's like 1930s gritty detective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
So he's like, "I'm taking this back with me in hopes that I'll figure it out someday." And then, honestly, I felt bad for Penny because Penny really didn't get much spotlight. I mean, the robot
died.
I mean,
Yeah,
the robot got destroyed, but the spider in it still lived. So
Yeah.
Like
she's
Yeah, but the robot made a frowny face.
it did.
Yeah,
It did.
Yeah, Penny's friends with the spider that she has.
I think she has I think they talk to each other telepathically too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like I know her whole thing was like something happened, but the suit that the spider was piloting was made by her father. He got killed somehow.
Yeah.
I don't really remember her backstory. All I know is that she was an anime chick. I love anime, so she was waifu for the movie.
She was Spider-Man diva to me from Overwatch.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you haven't noticed, a lot of Japanese things, like they always have like this little girl inside of a Big Mac all the time.
It's a freaking.
It's a staple.
Archetype.
It is.
Yeah.
They
But
like
actually, Diva's Korean.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
what was that?
What the heck?
Yeah, she's Korean, but she's Asian.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Apparently
so I
in one
mean,
of the comics in which that had a Penny Parker, there was actually an Evangelion reference.
I'm
Like you
not
can
shocked
see
by that.
Shinji, Asuka, and Rei in the background.
I'm not shocked by
nice.
that
They're not even hidden; they're just right there.
because Ava is like infamous, like one of the most infamous animes of like all time.
Oh yeah. There's all sorts of crazy shit with that.
And you know, Funimation's
Nice.
mad at Netflix because they got the rights to Ava.
Mm.
But anywho, so I mean, Miles pretty much sends all the spider people back, but you know, before he sends Gwen back, they don't become an item. Most people wish they will. I'm hearing they're gonna do like a comic or something about their relationship or another movie. I'm not really sure. But I mean, you know, Gwen's whole thing in the movie, she doesn't trust, like, well, not that she doesn't trust other people, she just doesn't let other people in because in her universe, her Peter died.
Yeah.
Her Peter was her best friend, and he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Parker.
Like he was still bullied and he was still super smart, but he ended up becoming like the lizard. Pretty much the lizard of her in her universe. And he gets killed. And after that, she doesn't really want to let people in. So, you know, before she goes back, her and Miles pretty much officially become like friends. But
Yeah.
it was pretty much implied like they're probably going to go a little bit further. But, you know, maybe that's just me.
Dude, I shipped him hard as hell.
A lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
ship them hard.
Yeah.
The fan art is ridiculous.
I want to do some fan art. It's
Oh, I've seen some fan art.
that rules.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
So, Peter
Yo,
B.
what was it for?
So the last one to go back home is obviously Peter B. Parker, his mentor, and he's pretty much refusing. He's like, "No, I said I'm gonna do it," and pretty much Miles pulls the same stunt on him that he did when he first met him. He's like, you gotta watch. You don't watch the mouth, watch the hands and all that. And he tells him, and he pretty much spits back in his face. Well, not spits back in his face. He's like, he pretty much tells him like, "I'm ready. I got this. Don't worry." And he lets him go. He goes back, and then him and
He's
Kingpin
like,
pretty
I
much
know I
finish
won't
up
mess
their
it up
fight.
again. He's like, and Miles was like, "You won't. It's a leap of faith." It's like,
Yeah.
not bad, kid.
Yeah, so we'll talk
Oh,
about that later too, because that was really not, I guess, not important to the whole plot, but I liked the little detail behind it. So
Yeah.
after he goes back, he finishes up his fight with Kingpin. You know, obviously he wins, plot armor and everything. The building blows like sky high after being pretty much like almost
Yeah, it blows up.
reformed by the parallel universes and stuff. And he does like a classic thing with Kingpin. He has him strung up in the middle of the city and all that. Miles' dad is there, and you know he doesn't want to admit it, but he's happy that the A Spider-Man is back in the picture because you know the city was pretty much going to crap. Spider-Man involved. And he does like the stupidest thing to me. He hugs him and then he tells him he loves him. I'm like, dude, you realize you're in the suit still, right? And I thought, I was like, you know, if he was a real cop, he would have put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. But
He's
wait
like-
a minute.
I would have called Miles. I'm like, Miles, where are you at right now?
I'm at your grounded.
And then that's when Miles takes off, and you know, I mean, the movie pretty much ends. But we do have we do cut back to Peter B. Parker, and he's pretty much trying to rebuild his life at this point. You know, I guess he's going back to the gym. I guess I don't know. I don't remember really everything he went through, but he's trying to put his life back together, and it ends with him knocking on Mary Jane's door with a bouquet of roses and stuff, which I thought was cute. I was like, that's dope. So you know, he's pretty much trying to, you know, he wants to get her back, he wants to retry, and all that. I don't think we see anything else with the other characters.
I think, I don't think they show anything not specific like that Spider-Man's because he had the most character development.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, it just ends with like, you know, Miles beginning his life as that universe's Spider-Man. But I do like the fact that he's still plastering the stickers that he makes all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was the movie, and like, you know. Okay, now we're gonna go get to this. So at the end, you know, after the end credit scene, if you're a Marvel fan, you stay to the end. You don't leave until the lights come back on.
Yeah, the post-credit scene was amazing.
Yeah. And that's when we get introduced to you know, what was it, Spider-Man 2099?
Yeah, 2099.
So and that let me know there's going to be a sequel.
One of the best costumes.
Yeah. His suit is in the game too.
It is both costumes.
Yep. So I mean, that let me know. I was like, okay, so we're getting a sequel, which I'm happy about because the styles, my fault, Shamar, were just they were amazing. But I'm not gonna stunt though. Like at the beginning, it took a little bit for my eyes to adjust because I thought I was watching a 3D film.
It is.
Oh
like,
yeah,
the
is that a 3D film?
Yeah, it is actually. It actually is because if you bring in a pair of 3D glasses, I swear it works. Because I went to see it the first time it was in 3D, and every time I took it off, it looks like exactly how it did when me and Shamar saw it, like standard. I was like, this movie is always 3D.
Yeah. Oh my God, that means if you get it at home, will it look like that still?
I hope
Oh,
so.
that'd be cool.
Oh
Because
my
I've already
God.
said when the DVD gets released, I'm going to buy it. I need that DVD.
Oh yes.
Hey, DVDs don't exist anymore. We have Blu-rays.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm buying the Blu-ray and
Yeah.
You and your political correctness.
Sorry.
what the hell is that?
Who's in the background?
Blizzard.
Oh,
Oh, we gotta talk about that too. We gotta talk about that, but we'll talk about that after the podcast.
Okay.
But
So since I haven't finished the game, try to give me like a rundown of the story, but without spoiling big parts at least.
that's a bit tough.
that is tough.
I know, I'm sorry. I just want to hear something.
Do you know
Um,
that?
If it's a minor spoiler, it's fine. But like big things that's gonna get revealed.
What about something that's pretty big but was in the marketing?
Okay, yeah, that works too.
You know the Sinister Six are in it?
Yeah, I know that.
Their boss fights are really good.
They are. And
Um,
you pretty much fight them two at a time.
Yeah.
Oh
There's
my
this
fucking god.
Oh,
There's this
geez.
one really cool segment where you play as someone not as Spider-Man, and you're just stuck in this slot with Rhino, and it's stealth, and it's amazing.
It is, and it has so much tension too.
It's scary as hell, man.
It
I
is.
love that you can play other characters besides Peter. Anyway, I played as Mary Jane, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I know.
Oh man.
Also,
Xiamaroux, there's this one, the one other character you get to play as for some certain sections, you're gonna flip out.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Also,
Well,
if
since I know Miles is in it now, I'm sure we get to use him. Go ahead and tell me yes, because I know.
yeah.
yeah,
I
my
thought
bad.
so.
I didn't know you weren't that far, dude. I didn't know.
Oh
No,
damn.
it's fine. It's fine. I love Miles.
I'm pretty sure you end up seeing Miles after like that big helicopter scene. Like Peter swings by and you see Miles
Yeah.
looking from the crowd all, oh wow.
But also
The ending is
the
really
DLC, you need to get it because that's actually good DLC.
Yeah, the DLCs are really good.
It's
Plus
actually
the
a
DLC has
story.
like the best costumes.
Yeah.
It's got Spider Armor Mark 1, Spider-Verse suit, classic Iron Spider,
Like-
Cyborg Spider-Man. That suit is just
Yeah, I
it
was
just
not expecting
reeks of
that
80s action hero, and I love it.
one. But
You ever
Yeah, I
play Far Cry Blood Dragon? It brings back those vibes. It's
yeah,
like
but
Kung Fury Spider-Man.
yeah, but I don't know what else I could tell you without kind of spoiling it, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay.
Electro's boss fight makes you wish you had electrokinesis as a superpower.
No, I fought him twice. I mean, I fought him once, and I chased him down one
That's
time.
Shocker! That's an
Oh, yeah, dang it.
Electro!
Fuck! I keep doing that. God damn it, they both got electric power. Shut up.
So-
Shocker's boss fight is fucking awesome.
But
Or Electro. Well, they're both pretty cool.
yeah,
But Electro's is great.
what would y'all give?
So much lightning.
What would you give Into the Spider-Verse as a rating? Me, that was just flat out perfect.
Oh, yeah, I'd give it a perfect score, too. Great character development, great story
10.
writing,
Yeah.
great villains, great motivations. Like, everything was good in that movie.
Like-
Everything.
Okay. Soundtrack. though.
Soundtrack
Good.
was
For
just
my rating, play
amazing.
that one clip of JonTron where he's giving that one game a 10.
What'd you say?
Hold on. I give it a 10. That movie was fucking good.
Yep, it is. If you haven't seen it, what is wrong with you? Go see it.
Well,
I
I had
mean-
to see this movie twice. So good.
Like what I just sent to the chat, that's my answer.
I agree. I just saw it.
That was so
Oh,
good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
Movie was so good.
so is there anything else y'all want to talk about besides the movie or the game?
There was something else. Oh, there's this like Spider-Man like one-off comic in which it's like a 50-year-old Spider-Man, and it's really fucked up because MJ is dead, and you wanna know how she died in it?
How?
She
Actually,
got yeah, she
Mm.
got cancer because her and Peter banged, but
Oh,
Peter's
yeah.
radioactive jizz gave her
Oh
cancer. I'm not
my
kidding about
goodness!
I am
I
not
read that.
joking. That is real.
That-
That is
yeah, it
terrible.
is.
That
It's
would
like
ruin
it's
my
like
whole
Rain or
fucking
it's
night.
like Spider-Man Rain or something. It's it's fucking
That is
gross.
sad. That is
Yes.
terrible.
That's not what I want to think about.
I know.
Oh,
my goodness.
Speaking of you bringing up like an old version of Spider-Man, that secret ending to the movie.
Oh my god, the post-credit scene with
That was hilarious.
old Spider-Man
that.
old Spider-Man cartoon. And
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Oh
2099.
yes.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
they
Spider-Man,
pretty much
you're
showed it- Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying like you're not Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, so they pretty much showed a scene of like
It's
the
Roots a
old,
point.
like what is this, a 1950 version of
It's the old
The
1960.
60s.
Yeah, the
60s.
60s Spider-Man cartoon.
And
Fun fact, that cartoon was racist as shit at sometimes.
Oh yeah.
pretty much he was trying to stop a bad guy or something like that, and I forgot how they were talking. It's
No, it wasn't that. You know that you guys know that two Spider-Man pointing at each other meme?
Yeah. That's
They reference that it's Spider-Man 2099. He caught wind of all the other dimension stuff. He decided to go back in time to 67, and then they both pretty much got animated in the 67 art style.
yeah.
And it was pretty much just the whole pointing meme. Hey, stop pointing at me. It's rude to point. You
Oh, yeah.
pointed at me first. I didn't. I was pointing, then you pointed.
Yeah.
And then they're both just screaming at each other about how it's rude to point and who pointed first.
Yeah. Also, they actually in the movie they referenced a lot of stuff from like the other Spider-Man movies. Like you remember in Spider-Man 3 when Peter was doing that.
Yeah. Peter
he did the little dance from the movie.
Oh yeah.
And the funny thing is, no, Donovan. I think it was like the MTAC last year or the year before last. There was a chick dressed up from like as that Peter Parker. She had a speaker playing that song, and she would do that dance all the way
remember.
down the hallway.
Oh yeah.
She was walking around MTAC like that, doing the dance.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Good times.
But speaking of Spider-Man 3, the Spider-Man 3 game, it has the worst character models and animations.
I've never
You know
played
how
it.
Venom? Oh, you know how Venom in pretty much all portrayals he's kind of built like the Hulk, a bit like
Yeah.
he looks like a very voluptuous man in it.
Yeah, he does.
He got curves?
Venom's character model.
Dude, it's thick. I was like,
Yeah,
what is this?
He's the definition of thick. Let me fucking send it. It's the
Does he have a?
ugliest
Please
thing.
tell me he got a Coca-Cola hourglass shape.
He
Kinda.
does. He has the biggest ass.
He does. It's so weird. Because
You
my
guys ever-
eyes were just drawn to it. I was like, is this bad?
Have you guys ever seen the movie Brain Damage, the horror film? He
I have
looks
not.
like fucking Elmer.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, he does.
Elmer, you
I'm
fucking
gonna look that character up.
Elmer.
That is funny.
Oh,
God, I'm
shit.
setting it, but God, it's the worst. It's the ugliest thing.
I didn't even like his voice in that movie, to be honest.
Nah, Spider-Man 3's Venom was shit.
Yeah.
I never played it, so I didn't. So I don't know.
Oh God, it's ugly. You know that one clip from that one Spider-Man game with the horrible character models, and Spider-Man falls flat on his face, and the woman goes, "I'm going to die," and she
Yeah.
has those really bugged out eyes.
Yeah.
Oh God, look at Elmer.
That's Spider-Man 3.
That's
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3.
That's the Spider-Man 3.
I haven't played it, but I remember seeing that on the internet, and I was like, that's
All the character
terrible.
models, they're the worst looking things.
Oh yeah. Like the character models from the fucking PS1 game looks better than that. Like, jeez.
That's sad.
Oh yeah, another great thing about Venom in the Spider-Man 3 game, he's constantly clipping through himself.
Oh jeez.
Like every shot, his body is just going through himself.
That's trash.
That's stupid.
It is.
The more about it.
Wait, so wait, do y'all think we'll get Venom in like the next game?
Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, I can definitely see him showing up in the next one.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's
Didn't
gonna
it-
be good.
I think I know what you're talking about. Didn't that happen like at like the very end or something?
Post-credit scene, they did something that looked like a symbiote.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to go see this Brain Damage movie now.
Brain Damage is a really good movie.
I'm looking at screenshots and I see some girl like going down to blow a guy and like
Oh yeah, that one. I remember that scene.
she gets her brain sucked out. What?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
All right, but Is that? I think that might be all for today, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you guys got anything else to say.
I don't. Except I'm looking at these pictures that Julian just sent. These are terrible.
Oh, thick venom.
Oh my goodness! I remember seeing these on Facebook like a few weeks ago. That's what they were talking about.
Oh wait, I got an even better one.
But
I
yeah,
just
let's
got a
go ahead and end
screenshot
out
of
the podcast so I can edit this.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys next time, and we'll have another review for you guys. We're figuring it out right now. So, see you next time. Bye.
See ya.